let me tell you the story of the treadmill memorizer versus the ladder memorizer, and how knowing what this means can help you fly into the future. And I mean literally fly with velocity that matters, because FLY is a very special acronym that will help you in your memory improvement training, your Memory Palace practice, and everything that you need to land those learning goals quickly, thoroughly, and effectively, so you can have all the benefits that come from learning and remembering the information that improves your life. It's coming right up. Hey there, this is Anthony Metivier from MagneticMemoryMethod.com, where we help mature learners of any age unlock absolute mental adventure when it comes to learning and remembering large topics, languages, specialized terminology for your profession, anything that is something you wish that you could memorize very quickly. That's what we do at MagneticMemoryMethod.com. So if you're new here, make sure you don't miss a thing. Hit the thumbs up. Click the subscribe button if you're not part of the community, and hope to see you on one of our live streams soon, and you can watch some of the replays. Now, I read an interesting email from Joe Polish, and he was talking about the difference between entrepreneurs that are stuck on the treadmill versus entrepreneurs that are always finding and using ladders to grow their business and so forth. And it's very, very interesting, because I thought that this is exactly what I see all the time from people who are memorizing. So the treadmill memorizer is the person who hums and haws and doesn't really ever nail a practice. They don't fly into the future with velocity with their memory training, because they're just constantly doing the low order activities that never get them the actual skill, right? Whereas the ladder memorizer finds the high order practices, focuses on them, and gets the skills, and is able to really memorize a lot of information quickly. So I think of people who've been on the Magnetic Memory Method podcast, like Joey Villalobos and Kevin Richardson. We're gonna have Sunil Khatri coming up, and Michael Swain. And Michael Swain recently put this amazing image in the Magnetic Memory Method Mastermind discussion area, where he's just showing how he's just nailing it with Japanese. And it's because he focuses on the ladder technique that lets him climb quickly to achieving his goals, instead of the humming and the hawing and the self-doubt and all this sort of stuff of, is this really gonna work for me? Because if you want to fly, FLY, what you're going to do is you're going to get off the treadmill and start climbing the ladder. And you know, sometimes you'll get trapped in these little things where you're in the treadmill world, and certainly everybody does, and it's just normal. But when you start to see the difference and you feel the difference through your own practice, then you get off the treadmill when you catch yourself on it. And you know, there's even a place sometimes for treadmill activities in terms of training. Like memorizing cards is essentially a treadmill activity, because it is something that gives you meta skills that transfer to things like vocabulary and phrases. And being able to memorize vocabulary and phrases is a ladder skill, because every new word opens the door of fluency. Every new phrase opens the door of fluency in the language you're learning, for example. So we want to really focus on those high order techniques. The Memory Palace is the king of them all. It's all the royalty, you know, because it's the memory technique that allows you to use every other memory technique inside. So what is this fly all about? How are you going to fly into the future with velocity? Well, let's talk about first what I mean by velocity, because a lot of people, they want to memorize really fast, right? And that's fine, but speed is actually not the same as velocity, because velocity is something that is movement in a particular direction that has a destination. So it doesn't really matter if you're going a million miles an hour if you're not getting anywhere, right? So what you want to do is be able to move with velocity. And how you do that is you find, that's the F in fly, you find a memory technique that is going to work for you, which is almost certainly going to be the Memory Palace, because all memory techniques are spatial in nature. So when you get the big boss memory technique of spatial memory itself that uses your spatial mapping capacity, then you're going to know why all the other techniques are spatial, because you're going to align them in space using their spatial characteristics. So that's very important. And the other thing to consider here is that you've got to find that topic that is so pivotal pivotal for you, so meaningful for you, that you're actually going to have it create energy that inspires you, because it creates a victory every time you memorize something from it. So every time you memorize a new vocabulary word, a new phrase, every time you memorize a new verse from scripture, every time you memorize a new code that saves you time in your programming, or whatever it is that you're doing in your profession, your life, whatever calls your heart to be better at that skill. When you just focus on those things, when you find what that is, you're going to create a number of brain chemicals, dopamine, myelin, and other opioids that make you feel great and give you this passion. You know, some people, they say, how do you keep showing up all the time on these videos? How do you do all this work? I just got an email asking me this, begging me for the secrets. And part of the secret is I just focus as much as possible on the latter activities that create these chemicals in my own memory practice, and then that helps create the energy and passion of coming up and showing up to teach it. So find the biggest, most meaningful, pivotal memory techniques. The Memory Palace is it, I guarantee you it is. And then find the information that makes you feel edified, that makes you feel enriched, that actually creates victory, so that you continue to have these essential brain chemicals that motivate you and create energy, create more energy than you're burning. So that's the F in fly. The L is going to come down to leveraging, really, your time. So you've got to leverage your time, and what that means is, and nobody can give you some secret little system or anything like that. I certainly have many ideas, help people find systems that they can create by understanding the principles that underlie the structures of organizing your time. But at the end of the day, there's no magic bullet here. There's experimentation and really finding habit stacks. Habit stacks is a principle where you essentially you don't try to get everything done with one habit, but rather you pool a number of habits together in an if this then that chain. So I've talked a lot about that before, and we'll talk about it again, but it's basically coming down to leverage your time. And then the next thing, the why, is you've got to say yes to a year, at least, because one of the things that you'll notice is that you want to experience this over time, so that you have velocity, that you're moving, and you are moving with consistency towards a destination. So pick whatever is meaningful to you, something that will really dramatically improve your life. Everybody has this. I can't say what it is for you or any other person, but you know, I've had a call recently with a private client, and you know, I was just thinking about scripture, and you know, what would really make the difference in that? Would it be memorizing the entirety of the scripture in that particular belief system? Or would it be just identifying a number of pieces of information from that text, a number of verses that get you closer to God or your creator or whatever you believe in, one verse at a time, and then set it out over time and move towards it over a year, right? So the thing is you've just got to be consistent about it, and you will feel edified, and you'll feel closer to your source, your creator, whatever it is that you subscribe to. And it really doesn't matter at the end of the day, so long as you're consistent with it, which is exactly what you need to get anything in life, is consistency. And the beauty is when you do it right, you're going to create beautiful brain chemicals that essentially make you feel high on life, so that you really are flying without having to take drugs or without having to manipulate your system with goofy, ridiculous, money-sucking brain supplements that you see advertised all over the internet by essentially liars and crooks and criminals. Those things give you about 0.05 verbal memory advantage. Guess what? Here's a tip for you. Just drink water, memorize something important every day, and be consistent about it. Say yes. Say yes now in your mind or out loud. Hit that thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to this channel, get subscribed to this channel, and come join me at magneticmerrymethod.com/YT for the free memory improvement kit. Comes with 4 videos, 3 powerful PDFs that walk you through creating a Memory Palace network correctly, so you actually can get velocity, so you can fly towards meaningful goals. And if you think that, you know, there's anything whatsoever lacking in this training, I highly recommend you to join us on some of our live streams here on YouTube, see some of the other people who get behind what I do, support what I do, and keep showing up no matter how long it takes for them to get what it is that they really want. And even if it just comes down to hearing this message again and again and again, that you need to fly towards meaningful goals that you have said yes to, because they truly are meaningful. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Hit the thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you think. Keep the conversation going. And until we have a chance to speak again, come visit me at magneticmarymethod.com and keep yourself magnetic.